Actually, let me get that going. All right. Well,
Sounds good.
welcome everybody. I'm really excited to lead this January start of quarter three session of our Coffee with the Principal or Eggs with the Executive or whatever you're doing out there. We just hope that you're all safe and everybody survived the snowstorm of 2025. I've got Drew. Drew's going to be with us from the high school, and then Randy Moore is going to be popping in as well, just to give an update on athletics. But if you've got a specific question that you want to make sure we address or a topic, go ahead and put it in the chat. I'm going to drop in, if you didn't get a chance to download it when it was sent out earlier in the year, a copy of our goals. These are the school's goals for the 2024-25 year. So I'm going to give some updates on where we are with a few of these goals and what's been happening or what happened over the second quarter and what we're driving towards in the third quarter and also in preparation for the opening of the 2025-26 school year in our new expanded dual enrollment center at the South Walton campus. So I think the biggest, really, maybe most important thing we did at the end of the second quarter was our student voice survey. So I did send our whole school results, and one of the parents asked for a grade level breakdown, and we'll send that. The only reason I haven't yet is because all of our teachers are still working in their own, grade levels, and once they have it, and we've got action steps, from everybody, then we'll line it up. But the three big things that came out for me in this student voice survey were one around student safety, how they feel safe and how they don't feel safe. Feeling heard. That was a really, big one that we as an admin team and a counseling team spent a lot of time talking through. And then also, homework and communication between teachers to make sure students are not, getting too overwhelmed. And there's a lot of data that there, we're over 1,000 responses that we've combed through and we've read through and we've, broken down, the themes. But some of the action steps that has already started to occur around safety is just more uh, adult presence on campus, whether it's at your door, at the openings of the Seaside Neighborhood School during lunchtime. We've asked the school resource officers to make sure that they're at the crosswalks where available, or any openings. Those were some big ones. We've got the suggestion boxes at the high school, and some of our teachers have uploaded those. We brought in a trainer. She's an expert in gifted education, so she came and did a session with all of our teachers around gifted education and just signs to be looking for when gifted students become frustrated. And it really is, they were great practices for all students. We're also, all of our teachers are going to go through the YMHFA, which is Youth Mental Health and First Aid training. That's going to be February 14th. So that's going to be another way just to raise awareness around just the signs of mental health challenges in youth. For the homework and the testing pieces, this is one of the key parts we have to do when we build our calendar for next year, is really look at times where our teachers can collaborate and do it either as a grade level team or a content area team to make sure we're not overlapping on assignments and large projects and tests. So that'll be a big one, and that's a big challenge for us to be looking at. Um, I talked about the presence on campus, uh, mental health trainings, grade level meetings with the students is going to be occurring here at Seaside Neighborhood School over the next 2 weeks. And out of those grade level meetings, those will be like, smaller roundtables where the administration will hear specifically, hey, what did you mean by, types of comments and themes. So those will build more action steps. So that's a big, part of one of our goals this year was to make sure that the students felt heard. And I don't know if Drew wants to add in any more information if he's available to, but I've definitely seen a change on high school campus. Just a little bit more openness, opportunities. Oh, and our school counselors at the high school, actually, they're going to be in every English class tomorrow. I think it's tomorrow. Just reminding them what they do and how you can get a hold of them, how you can schedule time with them, or how you can reach out to them. Because what we've definitely read into the survey is that the students are less likely to get up out of their seat and go to the teacher, right? Or to come to the office to see the counselor. So we need to make sure that we have ways for them to communicate confidently, but in a private way, so they don't feel, ashamed or overwhelmed by that. So, Drew, you have anything you want to add if you're available?
No, yeah, I was just kind of echo a little bit about what you said. We obviously identified at the high school some things that we know that we could make an impact right off. And like you mentioned, one was the counseling team. Due to kind of the logistics of getting some of the kids to the college, we always don't have both of our counselors on the campus at all times, and so they're going to get into the every classroom tomorrow and just get with the kids and make sure that they understand what they are, what they do, and then outside of, I mean, they meet with all the kids for their grades, but then also let them know that they're also a great mental health resource. If they're just not feeling right, or if they're having problems at home and they just want to talk to somebody, just reinforcing that that's who they are and that's what they do. And then for us, obviously, the kids did mention that they would like to see some more adult presence at the crosswalks during the day. Obviously during the beginning of the day and at the end of the day, we have a bunch of adult presence out there, but making sure we have the SRD at the crosswalk in between classes. And so we've made sure to make that move. And then the student voice was another big one for us. We've had a lot of meetings with our juniors and seniors as to how we can, make the college experience better for them. So we're scheduling meetings with the ninth and 10th graders to figure out how we can give them a better voice to make the high school experience better for them as well.
Yeah, thanks, Drew. And it will be ongoing. That'll be a big, initiative for us. And another part of that is also student attendance. So some of you may not know Miss Curtis, but Miss Curtis works not only as our ESE teacher, but she handles a lot of, student data and interventions. So one of the things we've asked her to do is each month send us a breakdown of a student attendance, number of absences, whether they're excused or unexcused, because not being here in person receiving direct instruction can certainly impact not only your grades, right, but your just engagement in the school. So Coach Randy Moore, he's kind of our admin who leads that process of communicating home, checking in. He gets the counselors involved. So, it was our goal to raise overall attendance on average by 2%, which would get us over 97%, daily student attendance. So we're also looking at initiatives and rewards for, kids who are able to attend, every day or come on those half days, whatever it may be. We had one of the last half days we gave out a lot of Bahama Bucks coupons to the kids that were there. Just more and more incentive. We certainly understand that sometimes there's challenges at home or kids getting sick and miss time. But we certainly want to make sure school's an inviting and engaging place and a safe place so they get excited about coming on a daily basis. So that was another big initiative that we had pushed this year. And that goes right into student academics. So one of our goals this year was to not just be proficient, right? We have a very high proficiency rate, so that means students can pass the end of year test. But we wanted to make sure, as a college prep school, that we were preparing students, to be college and career ready. So that means actually achieving fours and fives on their tests or raising their overall score. So we just had our PM2, so that's our second assessment around there. And so all of the teachers have been breaking down their data. And in looking at it, on average, right now, our goal was 80% for ELA. So 80% of our students would achieve either a level 4 or level 5. And right now at the middle school, 40% of our students are already above grade level, right, at their grade. So that is trending in a good way, and it's about the same at the high school. It's actually a little higher. So that's good. So we're halfway there, halfway through the year. So that means if the student took the entire ELA exam now, they would already be above grade level. So that was another reason we brought in the gifted trainer to make sure that our teachers are learning how to differentiate and create new ways and strategies to engage students that are above grade level, to give them more projects and more choices. If you have done any research on Gen Zs and alphas, I mean, they love choice. They love being in charge of their of their education. They want to do it, fast. They want to do it, their way. So we are, certainly looking at other ways to bring really relevant educational options, to them. And as we grow and expand next year, we'll be really looking at our internship programs. And Joy Robbins is helping me with that, and she called it the career safari, I think was the term she used. But it was like just getting kids out into the field so they can meet and be introduced to other businesses and occupations that will help them make their college choices. So there's a lot of great activity happening at the high school level for that. We've got our SAT classes, our boot camp. I think it's the next 5 or 6 weeks, Drew, right? With Joy and Miss Ench are helping with SAT prep. We've got our Dream Big workshops for our juniors this year. So by the time that the juniors are done their first year of college, right, they will be prepared to start their college applications in August. So normally we open up the portal in August and we start to do the workshops. That's what we did this year. This year we want them to have everything done, their essays, their resumes, and all those pieces, so they can really focus on preparing themselves not just for their senior year and be less stressed um, during that time frame. And it was really exciting. Ms. Greenway told me yesterday that 71% of our students, Drew, I don't know if she relayed this to you, but 71% of our seniors are graduating with honors. So that means a 3.5 grade point average or above during their time with us. And the other night, I got to go to the college. There's a new president, Mel Ponder, and he talked about, if you don't know this, Northwest Florida State College's campus was ranked #1 in terms of safety. And a lot of their academic programming is really getting great results in job placement. They have a new nursing building. They have an entrepreneur wing, which they had shared that the welders that they're graduating are making over $10,000 a month, right, at 20, 21 years old. So there's a lot of great, programming at Northwest that they're going to bring down to our campus. Now, obviously, next year there will be two main focuses. One is the Associates of Arts program, and the second will be the launch of our Associates of Science and Business Management. Those will be the two main college level programs that our students will have access to. And then we'll start to work to build out those electives as well as they start to expand their staff down here to South Walton. So really exciting opportunities happening here, both in ELA is growing. Our math scores at the middle school were incredible. So our goal for our math students is 90% of our students to be at or above grade level. And right now we're already at 55% halfway through the school year. So just really great opportunities. Our teachers are doing a fabulous job of personalizing education, and Drew and Kim are doing a great job of making sure those classes are grouped correctly and small enough where the teacher can spend enough time with them to do that. So if anybody wants to ask any questions about academics, or Drew, if you want to share any additional pieces about academics, feel free.
No, yeah, you kind of hit the nail on the head there, Tom. I did get that message from Miss Greenway, and it's a great achievement for our students that we have so many kids that are really excelling, and that really is just a testament to our students and the student body really wanting to challenge themselves at the next level and not just kind of float through that 11, 12 experience. And then the for the Dream Big program and the SAT prep, that's actually going to be tomorrow at the Chamber of Commerce, and I do believe the kids needed to sign up for that.
Yeah.
But look for more emails for the next wave of them coming, because I know tomorrow they're going to do an SAT simulation to kind of get some baseline data on the kids to see the interventions that they're going to use, make sure that those are succeeding. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah, it'll
don't
be
want to
great.
throw.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's really great. It's a good add-on. There's a lot of parents who pay hundreds to thousands of dollars for those types of services. So it's our goal to bring them internally to best prepare all of our students for any college that they want to apply for, that they're eligible for. And then the other big thing is our industry certifications. And so this might not mean, anything to a 13 to maybe a 16-year-old now, but here's what we're learning. We recently actually just had a student get a $4 an hour raise because they are bilingual at their lateral entry job. And so, I mean, imagine going from making $16 an hour to over $20 an hour at 16 or 17 years old because of the high school, right? The middle school and high school programming. So, the certifications we have in place now around entrepreneurism, cybersecurity, digital tools, all of those, areas are, starting the foundation for what we'll move to in the future, which is AI, and environmental science and a few other certifications that will be on students' resumes. And if you're on LinkedIn and you're seeing people like say, hey, I just got certified in X, like this is the same level. So our middle school and high school students are getting certified, industry certified in the same programs that adults are to improve their resume. So, Drew and our team will work really, diligently on that to ensure that all of our students, it's our goal that every one of our graduates leaves with at least 4 industry certifications that they can put on their resume. That's going to put them in an opportunity that if they whether they go to college right away or start a business, they'll be prepared for the workforce in multiple skills and certifications. So that'll be a big part. And to help us do that, we just received, we've been approved to receive the Triumph Grant over the next 5 years, which will fund about $9.5 million dollars in staffing and academic programming, not just in the high school, but also in the middle school around those industry certifications. And that is the goal of the grant. It's to help close workforce gaps, lateral entry, and professional workforce gaps in high wage, high needs jobs. So between that and our expansion of our associates degrees will count towards that grant. So really exciting for that. Yeah, the CNA. I don't know if there is a CNA cert that we have in play yet, but we just met with, I know the woman, I think her name's Tracy. She runs the nursing program at the college. She has spoke to our students, and that's probably in our next 2 years that we'll be able to build a pipeline for our students to get everything that they need to go to nursing school. We had sent a couple last year, and then so we'll have to look at those other certifications. A big part of it is finding the educators to be able to teach the class, and that's Drew's big challenge right now, right? How do you find AI teachers and cybersecurity teachers and all these industry certifications? And we have to be very creative, I believe, in finding a teacher to lead the class, but maybe some professional experts to come in, right, and help mentor and guide so the students can be at a high level. So we'll be looking for those expertise out there. Drew, I'm not sure if you want to add to anything since you're leading the industry certs programming.
Yeah, no. So we're excited to get that Triumph grant, or we've been approved to receive it, and just so that everybody knows, for next year, we'll have those 4 certifications that'll be offered. We currently offer 3 of them, and so those will be based around entrepreneurship. We will bring back the QuickBooks and bookkeeping certification, as well as the Security Plus and A Plus certifications. And to kind of echo what you said a little bit earlier, those are professional certifications, and to be in any type of IT job and have those certifications is a huge bonus. People pay tens of thousands of dollars to obtain the A Plus and Security Plus, and our students will get those at no cost to them or their parents.
Yeah. Yeah, it's huge, right? I mean, when you think about it, all of our students, are graduating with 2 years of college education, industry certifications. I mean, they're, saving tens of thousands of dollars and earning, scholarships on the back end. It's our goal if anybody wants to go to any college or university that they graduate debt free. And it'd be great if they had enough to go, get their master's if they choose and be debt free or start a business of their own. So it's our goal that 90% of our eligible students earn at least one industry cert per year. We're not quite at that, number yet, but that's our, higher level goal. And that would mean that every student when they graduate would have 4 certs. And then also I want to make sure I say it, the biliteracy seal, right? So that's 4 years of a foreign language. Right now, we have a Spanish program that can make that happen, and it's our goal ultimately that 1/3 of our graduates have that, and we had a few last year, and then we're going to continue to grow that program out.
Yeah, we currently have 10 students that are sophomores that are finishing up their Spanish 4 exam this year. And so we'll have those kiddos rolling up, and they'll already be done with their bilet still by the time they head off to college. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's incredible. Yeah. Yeah, and then the last part is just really preparing for next year. So we're in heavy recruitment phase between our students for next year and our enrollments, looking really really good so far, especially at the high school level. Middle school is always really really great. The sad part is that there's so many students that we're not able to bring in on our campus, but there are plans. We are working towards seeing how we can engage those students who are on our wait list or in the community in other types of camps and opportunities. So we have a an outside team thinking on those areas. How do we bring them into the Seaside Way? How do we expose them to our incredible educators here on our campus and our program and our students? So that's one way we're going to look at growing our impact. We are in the process of preparing everything for our move. All of the buildings, I just had a great meeting yesterday. They're on time. So between June and early July, we'll have all of our contractors in there to make sure the furniture's in, all the technology, all the infrastructure, all the safety, and security measures. So we are on time for an August start, which is going to be fantastic. And Drew and his team are partnering with the college to make sure we have all the academic programs we need on campus, and as little as possible virtual classes is what we want. We want as many in-person classes as possible, and that's been the promise from the college. So we're focused on recruitment. So that means we need teachers too. So if you know someone who may want to teach at our school, um, please send them to our it's join our team page on our webpage, and we're making sure all of the jobs have the right descriptions up, and folks can reach out about that. We're taking action towards the student voice, planning for the buildings. We've got great new programs happening, our theater and our drama programs. We've got multiple great new sports happening as well. Randy, if you're able, you want to talk about the new sport programs we had in the fall and where we're heading to in the spring?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me? I was just making sure it's coming through good.
Yeah, we hear you well.
Good. Good morning. And yes, I was just sitting here actually thinking we just had girls weightlifting, which we started at the high school. And three of our girls made it to the region for our first inaugural year in girls weightlifting. So that's exciting. And then if you look back through swimming, which was another sport that we started, we had a swimmer make All-American. We had several swimmers make the region for swimming. Our girls cross country at the high school also made it to the state tournament. Our boys at the middle school in cross country made it to the state. So some exciting things have happened this year. We now have getting ready to start boys weightlifting for the first inaugural year up here at Seacoast. And then, of course, our lacrosse team is starting, and Principal Ward is actually coaching them this year. So, in the past, the rumor is he did a great job, and we needed a coach for this year, so he's doing it this year. So, it's exciting based on what he's done in the past. So, I think it's a good time and a good place. I think one thing that we're looking for, and I know that the Booster Club has talked to me about trying to add to their memberships. So if anyone knows, parents or anything that they might want to join the Booster Club, I know they're going to try to have tents out at the race, to advertise for the Booster Club. And it's just a chance for them to raise money. Obviously, we have to rent facilities and things like that. So it's just a chance for them to try to help out and help out our athletes and our sports with the cost of everything that we have to operate. So, but it is a good time next year looking at trying to add a few more sports, obviously with the to be cost effective and things like that. I'll have to check and see, and I'm looking into it now as to what we might be able to start. But other than that, it's really been a good first year, especially for some of the high school sports that we've started. So I'm really glad and really proud of the athletes and the coaches. They've done a great job. So.
Yeah, thanks, Randy. And it is exciting. And one of the things that also launched in the last year was our booster club. And so, what our booster club, really does is it helps raise funds for those extra pieces, right? So it might be newer equipment, newer uniforms. And then what we do is we use the school's funds and the athletic fees that, go towards the field or the basketball courts or anything we have to rent or at least to run the program. So Randy's done a really great job of managing all of that. And as we grow and grow more sports, we'll need additional funds to do it well. And so if you haven't learned about the Boosters Club, please do. I believe there's a link on our website to be able to learn more about them, and you can become a member. And I think, Randy, does that membership I think it gets you into the sporting events, for free. What does the membership get you? I'm sorry. I don't know off the top of my head.
Yes, they have two or three tiers. I'm not sure exactly the levels, but yes, like so for the if you join, you automatically are going to be able to get into all the home games free. So
Mhm.
that's definitely part of the perk.
Yeah, and then we're looking into sponsorships and ways to hang, banners and things like that. So as we grow and that grows, that's a big part. And the school always works hard, to fund just like the basics of what we need, and then our opportunities like the annual fund really help try to close that financial gap. Um, with that. So great job, Randy and Drew. Thank you for tripling up your responsibilities and helping that lacrosse team. You and Colonel Volpe. I can't wait to get out there and see you guys working as a team. There was a great question in the chat. It came about. I'll go back to the college. So um, the college it's the college's responsibility to staff their dual enrollment center. So that's for students of 11th and 12th grade. And we do have some 10th graders taking college classes. So, and these would be the classes that will earn a student the two things: one, their high school diploma, and two, their associate's degree. So I had mentioned, virtual, and so it's our goal right now in our articulation agreement that every semester a student is allowed to take up to two, right, Drew, up to two virtual classes.
That is correct. Yeah, that's the way it's currently written.
Yeah. And that's kind of where we cap it. And so but the college should be providing in-person classes for everything required to obtain your associates. So the question was, will students need to go to Niceville? And they should not have to go to Niceville to obtain their associates. Now, if there's a particular class that's outside of that, like an elective that is in person, yes, they would have that ability. And if they live closer to Niceville than us, they could certainly take classes there because the whole point of building this expansion project here was that our students who lived in South Walton would not have to travel an hour one way to get there. But we certainly understand that a lot of our students live in the northwest part of Walton County, and so they may choose to take those classes up there. So that's our goal. We're working with the college to make sure that those in-person classes are taught by certified college professors here in South Walton. The last thing that I want, and I know Drew and our team want, is our college kids to go into a room and watch someone on a screen or do virtual education for their college piece. And a lot of them choose to do that so it works with their schedule. Most of our students uh, only only go to college classes 2 days a week. So they build their schedule that way, and then they work either full time or part-time jobs in between. And then we'll continue as we have everybody on campus, which will be exciting for the first time ever. We'll continue to have opportunities for them to come on Fridays. We'll continue to grow our workshops, keynote speakers, and things of that nature to be able to really up level the experience of all of our high school students through the clubs and extracurriculars, whatever they may need to be successful. So um, I've shared a lot. I'm looking in the chat to make sure I didn't miss any questions. Yeah. Oh yeah. So the business program. So next year we'll launch a new associate's degree for our school, and it's Associates of Science in Business Management. And I did some work on it, and I feel like I sent this out. It might be in our Seacoast marketing flyer. But one of the key aspects of the business program will be that it'll give you immediate career readiness. So this program is probably focused for two types of students. One who's an entrepreneur who just immediately wants to go from high school and start their career, right? So they may start a business, they may be, working with the family business, they may want to move right in and just join a profession right away. So that'll be a 2-year degree, and they're going to have incredible, skills around business and administrative management. The other student might be someone who wants to, move forward and get their business degree. One of the great things that we did is we did an audit of all the classes that our students had taken, I think, Drew, maybe over the last 3 years, right? And all of the classes that are required to obtain this Associates of Science in Business Management, right, were the most common classes that our students had actually taken, which is really exciting. So this will just be another way for them to streamline if they know that they want to go into business, right? This will move them away from a lateral or like their associates, just like the regular liberal arts, associates, to be more focused on their career path. So types of classes around business management, sales, organizational leadership. So what we'll do is I'll make sure we send out a list of what those classes are. And what I've done is I've done a comparison of the A.S Business Management versus the A.A and kind of what that means for every student. I'll make sure I clean those notes up and send them out to everybody. And Drew, I don't know if there's anything more that you've learned about that, but what we'll do, is we'll have once we get past the lottery and the students are starting to come in, we'll be having multiple information sessions because the students will need to choose if they're going to go through the AS in business. Like, we need to know halfway through their freshman year, because their classes will change. So we will build graduation plans for our AS and business students, and then we'll have a different grad path for the AA. And what we'll say is like, hey, once you pick it, you need to stick to it, because we want to make sure that you graduate with your college and career ready diploma. We would love for you to get your associate's degree, but if you start kind of moving classes around that grad plan, there are some unintended consequences. Like, for example, we had a senior drop a class without talking to the counselors this year, not knowing that that class was a graduation requirement, and the class was full. Like, he couldn't, take it online anywhere else, right? We were able to work around that, luckily, but those things happen. So it's so important, and that's why we have two counselors at the high school for our current 300 students. We will be adding a third counselor next year, who will focus on college and career, because there's so many moving parts. We want to make sure that our high school students meet their goals, get their diploma, and hopefully get two diplomas, for that. And I think there's a question: will there be advising team from the college? Yeah, yeah. So we are under the understanding that that dual enrollment center building. So when you go to the high school and you come off and you go over that little mini bridge onto Greenway Trail, that first building, that's the college building, and that building should be fully staffed with that. They call them navigators. That's their counseling team, is navigators, which we actually have navigators on campus twice a week right now, on campus, that our students could go to if they wanted, but they will have college counselors there, and college staff, and we anticipate them having security staff as well, because it is their campus, right? It's a shared campus, but it's their campus. Any other follow-ups about the AS program? But we're probably about 45 days away from like those first kind of bigger meetings to help everybody, better understand what that means. And then as our counselors learn too, like, what's kind of the deadline to say yes. It's our goal to have 24 students per year in that AS business management cohort as a minimum, because that'll keep them working all together. and moving forward. And we'll also be working on the new electives for next year. We, certainly we're, looking at full-time art at the high school, communications class, social media type, programs and classes. So there's lots of opportunities we want to bring. So the students, as part of the student voice survey, gave us some really great feedback too. And I didn't mention that, and I should have. But that's another piece that we're looking to help us choose those classes. But again, it goes back to finding a highly qualified teacher to, be able to do that. So we will be posting jobs for adjunct, faculty. They may just come and teach one class or maybe two, classes. That's, something in their wheelhouse. So yes, we agree. It would be amazing to get Mr. Saunders at the high school, and we've talked about that, many times, how that may work. There will be, a stage at the new high school, which so we are looking to expand the all of our arts, programs. So theater, drama, and music at the high school. What would that look like? What room would they use? And that's, that is part of the challenge that the design of the high school building was not really designed to have, music class. And so we would have to really look at, how do we do that well? And Drew and I have worked on many, different models. Maybe the kids start their day here at Seaside, super early and take the bus back. I don't know. So, but we're working on it. I promise. There's not something we don't talk about, that, you guys bring to us. Perfect. Anybody else have any questions? Hopefully this was helpful. When coming ninth graders have a chance to meet with counselors about their schedule next year and pick it up. Yeah, perfect. And what's the time frame? So every new student who comes, a graduation plan, and Drew, you kind of have to help me here. A new graduation plan is presented to them, and they meet with the counselors to say, hey, here's your path towards your degree, right?
Yeah. So when we pull the lottery, what will happen is our counseling team will send out a course request list. And so we'll get those lists from all the new ninth and 10th graders, and we'll start building their schedules. And then we'll call those families in and make sure that we meet with everybody to double check that they understand what their grad plan is. So the counselors have every ninth grader has a book that they have a little check off of, make sure that they're getting all their high school requirements. And then when they go to the college, it'll have all the college requirements. And then it also tracks scholarships and things that they've applied for, and their community service hours, bright futures, and all those things. So it all comes in this advisory book. So that'll all start to get built as soon as we know who's coming. And if you're a Seaside parent that knows you're already coming, we don't mind setting something up with you ahead of time.
Yeah.
But for any parent that that's an outside person trying to get into lottery, we'll wait until we make sure that we have all the documents and that you're accepted. Unfortunately, we had 57 kids this year not get in to the ninth grade because of the wait list. We're increasing enrollment this year, so I'm happy. But we do have to make sure that, we're not spending a bunch of time on somebody that's not going to, unfortunately, make it in. But if you're a Seaside parent and you're ready to go, we can start to meet with you and make those things happen.
Yeah, let's because the eighth graders are coming over to campus tomorrow, which is going to be fun. They'll get to tour some classrooms and do lunch at the coast. And in the next like 2 weeks, we'll send an example, like a sample grad plan, so you guys can kind of see what that looks like. Um, Someone asked me earlier, like, how are you all, unique and different to other high schools? That's a big part of it. The other high schools are large, and I'm sure they have, grad plans for their kids, which is great. But I don't know if they have, like the personalization and the ability to sit down with each one of the students it happens twice a year just to kind of review. Hey, here's where you are. Here's your grades. Here's the classes you need to take. And they help and guide you through your registration. So our 10th graders will be registering for their college classes in April. Which will all be here. So yeah, so we'll make sure we have multiple opportunities for parents to do that. Student survey results. Yes, I had said that the student survey results will get sent to you, broken down grade level to grade level. Probably won't happen for a couple weeks because all of our teachers are still, doing that work. But we'll do it. All right. It's 9:41. I appreciate you guys all taking the time to be with us today. Hope this added value to you. I'll make sure we get those informations out to you in the next, couple of weeks about high school and all the other programs that you guys asked about. So thanks again. Spread the word. The building's on time. And we just got our plans for the courtyard. And so the courtyard will be completely done with the stage probably in the first 45 days of school next year. So it'll be awesome. And then at the end of 2026 will be our first ever graduation on campus for our students, which is going to be great. So that's the current 10th graders, maybe? I don't even know. I can't do the math right now in my head. Maybe 11th graders, current 11th graders. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.
Thank you. Yeah.